Hello there, my name is Hector Elizondo Lomelí. I am a student from the high school Tech Santa Catarina. Recently, I was assigned to make 3 interviews to people that work or share something in common with my social development goal. This one being the number 13 that focuses on climate change. The questions made to the interviewers relate on the target 13.2, which states the objective being to improve education, awareness raising, and human and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction, and early warning. With this in mind, the podcast will reflect on each interviewer's perspective on the issue. All 3 interviewers had similar perspectives but different answers given. The first interviewer is the engineer Carlos Rivas. In the response, he stated how in the industry where he currently works is already taking actions with awareness raising, since the industry is producing less emissions and most of which don't pollute at all. Carlos is aware of the problems that climate change have affected our society in recent years. Also, stating how nowadays there are nations that are standing to protect the environment by reducing the carbon emissions. Knowing that, Carlos decided to not only take actions on solving the problem at work, but to contribute in the personal. A change made in his way of living is in collaborating in the usage of hybrid cars that help to reduce up to 50 to 60% of the use of fuel. What inspires him the most to keep on with making positive changes that contribute to climate change is the fact that it matters to give to the future generations to come a better world to live in. Alright, so the second interviewer is also an engineer. She is a young woman and her name is Paulina Marquez. She responded starting with what she believes is necessary to make a change worldwide on climate change, stating that she is in favor of the agreements achieved in the Paris Agreement. She believes it should not be optional, but rather an obligation for all nations, especially developed countries, to participate in this agreement. Her point of view on the Paris Agreement clearly shows how she is concerned that the actors that have a lot of power are able to raise awareness on the topic of climate change to a big number of people in a society, just like the nations contributing in the Paris Agreement. Leaders such as presidents can also make an impact on a society. It can be either a positive or a negative impact. Paulina mentions how the current president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is delaying the development, both global and national, of the agreements and solutions which are indeed necessary to be able to prevent and mitigate the effects of climate change. With what Paulina Marquez just shared, it shows me how, besides the fact that we as individuals can raise awareness on climate change by sharing our knowledge to others, we can also take action by choosing people in our society that have a bigger voice so that these chosen leaders can be able to spread more awareness to the community. My third and last interviewer, just as the others, is an engineer and currently lives in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. His name is Samuel Cantú Garza. Just like Paulina Marquez's response, he believes the Paris Agreement is necessary because it is beneficial to promote sustainable solutions. However, he says the actions will take a longer time to be completely solved, which is in fact true. Samuel also shares a characteristic, but this time with the first interviewer, Carlos Rivas. He shares that he foments the usage of green energy. The job of Samuel consists on communicating with the clients about the benefits of using renewable energy. He clarifies this statement, telling them how at the start it can be economically more expensive, but in the long term an investment is recovered. So bringing environmental and economical benefits, it is guaranteed afterwards. Having this example given, it not only inspires me, but can contribute in changing the daily habit of others to stop using non-renewable energy and to stimulate the usage of renewable energy. In order to make this happen, the change has to start in ourselves. Changing our habits might not be easy to do so right away, but if we contribute with small actions that support combating climate change, as for example, starting to reduce, reuse, and or recycle, then it will become a habit in our daily routine. The last thing to highlight on Samuel Cantu's perspective is that for him, the key to a sustainable world is in the newer generations that are willing to search a sustainable development in their daily habits. In conclusion, after analyzing the perspectives on the three interviewers, Carlos Rivas, Paulina Marquez, and Samuel Cantu, we find how all of them share the point of view on how anyone is capable to raise awareness on climate change. In order to do so, the key is communication. You must be able to communicate to others on the benefits of taking actions that can help solve the problems of climate change. It is also very important to make these actions a habit in your daily routine to contribute with the help. This has been all for the podcast. Thank you.